clue. We could be dancing the whole human race, each one must choose. And I'd rather be dancing at the edge of my grave. I'd rather be holding you close as we march forward, loving and brave. I'd rather be singing.
How you doing?
Hey,
how was the trip? How was the trip?
Uneventful.
Uneventful, good. We just had one of the grannies call and say she got pulled over 2 blocks away, no seatbelt. With a lot of questions. Where are you going with all them signs?
Let me watch us.
Yeah. Well, good. We want them to watch us. Hi. Thanks for being here. What's your sign say? Unfortunately.
Well, this is a better traffic than we.
How you doing?
You're wearing your orange for later on?
Yes,
Okay.
and for today too.
Right.
You know, I can multitask.
Sure.
How you doing?
Doing well, sir.
Good.
Hey, Joe.
Hi.
Again, this is tenants' favor. They're welcome to be on bond, or if they want to invite them in, they invite them in. The difference between the two is this, I need to keep clear and...
Right, and I think that you're right with this fully your property.
Right.
You are aware of PGD, the case of PGD. Okay. You are aware of what you aren't aware of that.
My instructions is my tenants pay day in, day out, and the event has rented my banquet room. So
well, I don't think that's much different
than
Smith renting space from
that's great.
PGD. I think that you're going to find yourself in the same kind of court case.
Are you one of the event coordinators here or organizers? Yeah. Yeah, we're just trying to petition our congressman. You understand, right?
Yeah. For you.
Yeah.
I
and it's
have to take care of my tenants.
I understand that.
Yes.
You understand what we're saying? Yeah, you do.
I'm right there.
Okay. so it's awkward for all of us, and that's why we have to do what we're doing.
Why is it
And
a
this is
problem
what
for
I
your
have to
tenants?
do.
I mean, is it really disturbing your tenants
Yes,
a lot
it is.
for us? How would it? Why would it disturb them for us just to be standing there?
They wouldn't have. I don't have a problem. My instruction is this is tenant space. It's my duty to keep it
Your
tenant
instruction
space.
from who?
I'm sorry.
Well, no, I just was wondering, is it from your tenants or is it from the owner?
It's a group effort. They're conducting their day in, day out business. They need access to the doors.
Nobody's blocking the door. We are not going to block the door.
Yeah.
You're welcome on bond.
Okay, they're going to check with the organizers
The organizers have said we can be here.
Yeah.
But the building is saying we can't.
We have finished talking with you. We have finished talking with you. We are talking to the police.
Okay.
So leave everybody alone and let us go. We're going to go with Smalley.
Yes, sir.
We're going to go with Smalley. See?
What you got there?
That's a flyer to try to get Blumenauer to do what he's supposed to do as our representative.
You bet.
And he is totally ignoring it, so.
So we're here to bring attention to that, right?
That's right.
Yep. I'm here to bring
We're headed
attention to
after
this
as many people.
and impeachment. I'm multitasking.
Ah,
I can
beautiful.
do multiple things.
There you go.
I'm hoping my congressman can.
Good point.
Yeah.
You can't come here. It's private property. Hey, private property.
You get a picture over there. Oh no, I want to get you. No, I wanted to get your picture of you holding up there.
Yeah.
And you want to tell me who that is?
Yeah, that's my nephew Travis. Died in Iraq on July 2nd, 2003.
2003.
The day Bush said bring him on. Almost 5 years now. 5 years ago today, he was sitting on the border in Kuwait. He shouldn't have been there, but for the lies of the administration. So,
Have you been out trying to make some change here?
I think I've made 19 of the 23 days in front of Earl's office. Thursdays 12 to 2.
Probably written your congressman a dozen times?
100.
100 times.
100 times. Not a single written response from my congressman.
No kidding.
Not a single written response.
You even went to Washington, D.C., didn't you?
I visited his office in Washington, D.C.
Hi, John.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, where were you?
Well, I was in Congress as Kucinich read his bill in. I was up in the gallery with my sister, and a flag and a picture of Travis, just like
Oh,
that
good,
here.
good.
And
thank you for being there for all of us.
yeah, and then I went. We thought it was over because they said it was going to be a couple days before they'd get back to his privilege question, and Steny Hoyer snuck in there and threw that motion to table on the table. And I went over to Kucinich's office because there was going to be a press conference over there, and they wouldn't let me into the press conference because I wasn't credentialed press. So I went down to his office to try to talk my way into the press conference, and I saw that the motion to table was being heard. So I grabbed Lynn and James and Patrick, and we all ran across the street again. And by then there were two big school groups ahead of us, and we weren't going to get back in the gallery in any kind of time. So I went back up there, and they had the hallway in front of the press conference filled with policemen. There were about 25 policemen up there. And it was very strange because there were only about 10 people and 6 reporters, and they had 25 policemen. And one of them was really pretty, he was bullying people that were standing there.
Just the few 10, he was kind of bulldogging
it was kind of like
them,
a group like this, and about half of them were code pinkers.
Oh,
And they were being real calm, and you know, a few other people, and I was up there, and Lynn and James and Pat, after we couldn't get into Congress, went and did something else. But I went back up there, and it was really getting pretty scary. They ordered everybody against the wall, and the one policeman, I thought he was trying to provoke something. It was really...
It's almost intimidating too, huh?
Yeah, it was very strange. And they, you know, they were just standing around, and I asked there was a woman officer there, and I said, what's all the force here? And she said, well, there might be a demonstration. And I said, like free speech or what?
Yeah.
But I finally, I went back down to Kucinich's office and saw that the votes had flopped, and that was like the Twilight Zone, because the phones were ringing off the hook down there. And you know, I never saw Kucinich, and we stopped by earlier and left that T-shirt that Bonnie sent to Kucinich with my card on it.
One of the red ones?
Yeah, and
oh,
with
good.
a note. And then I went back down there, and I was just watching the action. There were two people at the front desk with the phones ringing, and people back in the boiler room, just phones ringing off the hook. And I looked up, and there's still stuff going on on the House floor.
Boy.
And then I looked at the vote, and I said, wait a minute. And as soon as somebody got off, I said, I am bewildered by this, because, you know, it looks like the motion to table failed. And they said it did. The Republicans all rolled with it and changed their votes, and so it failed. So then after that they did the, they referred it off to the Judiciary Committee. But we called on 8 or 9 congressmen while we were there, just their offices. I don't think we saw Oregon ones, or well, although I went to Wu, DeFazio, Hooley, and Blumenauer's, and then I went to Conyers' office and Brian Baird. See, before I went up to the Linda Boyd, who's one of the leaders in Washington impeachment, wrote to me and said, you know, please feel free to say that you've got the authority to speak for Washington impeachment in Washington on this, and we had 30,000 signatures on our petitions we sent into Kucinich, and so I stood witness for this group in Oregon and for that one in Washington. And
we're proud of you for doing that for us.
And it was
in the community.
We're not very many people in the stands. It was kind of hard to guess about when it would be, so you had to check back, but we did.
Did you go over there for the specific reason?
Well, no, we went. It was just serendipitous because Lynn was invited to speak on a cluster bomb issue. Oh. International Action Day to ban cluster bombs. Yeah. And so she was the first speaker with a congressman and with a couple of international activists on cluster bomb treaties on the north side of the White House, north side of the Congress. And so we did that on Monday at noon. And then we started kind of plodding around the Congress to see who was there and what we could do. And then it came over the horizon that Kucinich was going to hit the floor with that. And I was just hoping, and it couldn't have been timed better. Yeah. And I'll tell you, to go in there and walk in, and it was about our third try, but we went in there and he was reading that into the record. So I visited all of our Congress people's office in Washington, D.C. I visited 2 or 3 of the Washington congressional representatives, and we were present in the gallery when Kucinich read his bill onto the floor on November 6th. With Travis's mom and my brother James and my son Patrick holding a flag and a picture of Travis.
And he read the bill for impeachment?
Yeah, he read his revised bill for impeachment, claimed his privilege for impeachment under the Constitution. And then they had a motion to table, and our congressman voted to table that resolution, which oddly resulted in it still being alive in the Judiciary Committee. So we now want to follow what Congressman Wexler, Congressman Gutierrez, and a third congressman are pushing to have hearings in the Judiciary Committee. 3 members of the House Judiciary Committee wrote an op-ed piece 2 weeks ago calling for impeachment hearings. George McGovern has come forward with that call. It's a call I've been making since the day after the election in 2006, when I demanded that each of the Oregon representatives exercise their duty, meet their duty under their sworn oath, to protect the Constitution and begin the impeachment process. It has yet to happen, but there's still time. It can happen.
Good. Well, thanks, John, for what you've been doing. Hi, Harvey.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
Hey, let me give you a couple of numbers myself.
Okay.
I'm Harvey Thorstead, President of the local Veterans for Peace, Commander U.S. Navy retired, Vietnam vet. I took an oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, not to follow some political leader on his agenda when he's attacking and violating the highest law of the land, the Constitution. We're calling for impeachment. That's what we do. Support and defend, that means you enforce the law, the highest law of the land, the Constitution. We're trying to get Earl Blumenauer, our representative here, to join with the movement with Wexler and others in D.C. to impeach our president. He is violating the law. He's a criminal. All military take an oath for this. Most political figures take an oath to support and defend. The nation as a whole should support and defend the highest law of the land. Right now, it's our leader, Bush, that is violating it. Impeach him.
Thank you, Harvey. Thank you. I see you got orange on.
Yes, that's in honor of Guantanamo, where they're having torture. And we're trying to stop that. That's violation of the law, the Geneva Convention, a treaty that is honored under the Constitution, Article 6.2.
Article 6.2.
Article 6.2 of the Constitution. that says all treaties signed by this country become part of the law of the land. Violation of treaties is violation of the Constitution. It's a criminal offense. It's the same way we got into Iraq, by violating treaties.
I see.
And so, yes, the orange is to stop torture. That's straight and simple.
And I think it's the anniversary of Guantanamo, 6-year anniversary of putting more people in there again.
You're correct, Joe.
Yep.
This is the 5th anniversary of putting people in Guantanamo.
5 or 6, do you know, Harvey? I think 6.
You could be right on that. It's been a long time.
Yeah. These years are rolling one into another, unfortunately.
Yeah, there's protests all over the nation today on Guantanamo, especially because of anniversary time. Hey, thanks for reminding me on that one. I forgot the orange, yes.
Yeah, good. Well, we're out here.
Hey.
Okay.
Then go to PBRC website.
Sorry, you can't stop killing people by killing people. But that's I haven't talked to him for 2 years. Sorry, you can't stop killing people by killing
Gitmo bans on people.
Oh,
good, thank you.
Today's the anniversary, right?
Only 6 years.
6 years, that's not terrible.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the crimes for which those slimes need to be impeached.
Yep, hot on my list of unacceptable behavior.
It's great American tradition, the reservations and Japanese internment and all that stuff.
Yeah, isn't that?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. God, I think people with common sense would be the ones running this, and the freaks would be all, we'd be running them into the underground. But, you know, we got the freaks up running the show. And it is crazy.
We got the people from the head of the asylum, right?
Yeah, they're running it.
They really are mental people.
Then I bounced back up and
So there's none of them. Hillary, Obama, or they're all going for the mandated health care that you have to get it like
Looking like, well, some of them are compulsory, like
These flags are really great.
Yeah.
We need more flags.
Hi, Lori.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, what's your sign say? 911 truth? Yep. That would solve a lot of problems if they could get to the bottom of that.
Yeah, it'd be nice if people could actually think enough to wrap their heads around it.
I'm going to walk down the street here a little ways. Good seeing you.
Yeah, you too.
Okay.
I won a scholarship to Rebooting Democracy,
Uh-huh.
and because I'm running for city council, they gave me a VOE table to advertise who I am. I'm Martha Perez, and I'm a candidate for city commissioner.
All right.
What's funny about who I am is that I'm friends with a lot of the activists, but also on the inside. So I'm kind of stuck between two worlds.
Yeah.
I'm friends with the activist world, and I'm friends with the political world.
Uh-huh. Well, what's your opinion on impeachment?
Impeachment, I support it.
You support it, yeah.
I don't think it, I'm going to ruin my career by saying that I support it because I already did.
Yeah.
I think, but it would be but if we're going to impeach Bush, I think we need to look at accountability. It's accountability of all politicians, including myself if I were elected.
You bet.
So I would want my constituency to call on me if they disagree with my decisions, or if they think that my stance on something needs to be changed, or
your
not
focus
correct.
maybe, or
my
something.
Focus.
Yeah,
that's right. So, but I've got ideas,
Yeah.
And I'm a young person. I'm here at Rebooting Democracy. Now I must make a distinction though. The activists are not attacking the young people who are mostly volunteering, running the Rebooting Democracy conference.
Right.
What they're here for, the activists are here protesting the politicians that are going to be showing up in their limousines in a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and specifically I think it's Earl Blumenauer who doesn't seem to be wanting to...
He's not going to be here on a bus. I came here on a bus. I'm using public campaign financing.
Oh, yeah, he'll be probably driving in a limousine, do you think?
I don't know if he will, but he's definitely, something happened to his soul because, well, it's like this. He said he's opposed to the war, but is he truly? Or something happened to him along the way? I question Capitol Hill's intentions because if we got over half of our federal budget appropriated now for the war efforts, then something's going on in Washington, D.C., and I know that I just came back from D.C. and I could tell you with clarity that it's not business as usual, and it's dangerous for us to assume that it's business as usual in Washington, D.C.
Well, thanks for talking to me.
You're welcome.
And I'm on your email list, so I'll be getting your updates, and I'll be watching what you have to say as you run for city council.
All right, have a great
day.
day.
What's your... you're on the bus. Okay.
On the bus.
Yeah, well, we support the progressive movement. We're just kind of also supporting today's Guantanamo.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
I'm happy. And don't forget, another pitch would be go to the PPRC rally at 5
At 5 o'clock tonight.
At Pioneer Courthouse Square. It's actually 5:15.
Okay, good.
So they kind of altered the time. So
right behind you, someone's walking.
Please show up.
Okay, you bet.
Okay.
Thanks for speaking to me.
Bye-bye.
Unfortunately, it's not. So I don't have any illusions.
Yeah, well, it's good to be progressive.
We're getting a great response from the people driving by. They're slowing down and giving us the peace sign and the up sign and big smiles. So
I think there's a lot of people that actually support us.
I think a lot of people are supporting us.
They may not want to come out 24 weeks in a row and stand through all kinds of weather, but I think they do support us.
This kind of feels like a celebration.
Yes.
Kind of feels like a big celebration of all the hard work we've been putting in and keeping the faith and the hope as Barack says.
Yeah.
And I think it's paying off. I think more and more people are starting to feel more comfortable about using the word impeach.
Yes.
It's not a dirty word anymore.
Yeah, thanks. You're right.
Oh, on Obama? Yeah, so do I. It's going to be interesting because I'm sure.
One of the 9/11 DVDs.
Histories and paintings and the conference in Los Angeles. Just a couple years ago. Well, history
Wow. Good one.
Prisoner 1316.
Which rally was that? We don't, but if there's invitation, that's the public we've had multiple rules. Get somebody.
You're saying PDX Peace? Did I hear you say that? I think it's pdxpeace.org.
Spy camera.
Spy camera. I was up late last night playing around.
Yeah.
The deeper I got into it, I was like, God, this ain't gonna work. Well, if I spend another half hour, duct tape it, and then
handy.
we kept going. I was up late last night playing around.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. What do you got? He's got look. No, but look at the back.
Got a camera.
Got a little,
stealth.
Got a cover, a little rain cover.
No, it's brilliant.
Have a good conference, Jeff. I'm sure we're not ready. We just had to go color.
But you know, where did Marty go? No, she was the one that wanted to talk. I'm not here removing, man. Great day to impeach your president.
Joe, I keep wondering, how come the anarchists come to a lot of the big events? So.
How come they're not?
How come they come to a lot of the big events?
Why do they?
Yeah.
Because they're involved. Anarchy. They know all about it. They probably know more about it than some politicians. I mean, you know, that's what they're reading the news and they're active.
Starting before the Belgian.
Right.
How you doing, Joe?
Pretty good.
Yeah, I think we're getting the message out.
Somebody said to me, I saw you on video. You're famous. How come you're not rich? And I said, I am. Look at all these people. And I said, when people like this come out because you asked them to, you're very rich. This is rich stuff.
Yeah, good, Joe. I'm happy. I'm really pleased with the turnout.
Yeah.
I think it's getting a good, we're getting a good exposure.
Well,
everybody that goes in there is seeing it.
We got Smith a little bit nervous. He's out there.
On the front porch, was he?
He's talking to all the vets.
Oh, really?
I had to get away because I don't do well on those things.
Gordon Smith?
No, Jeff Smith was the head of the Democratic Party of Oregon.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, good. Good.
Definitely the chairman of this one.
No, we're not torturing people, and no, these aren't crimes against humanity. Where are you getting that they are?
Okay.
How do you have the inside scoop
Well, I'll tell you
more than
how.
everybody?
No, it's a good question. It's a good question.
Amy Goodman.
No, he doesn't.
It's just an honest question.
It is. I think it's a fair question because this is the exact problem that we all have. You probably listen to mainstream media.
I listen to a lot of media. I read the Oregonian. Oregonian doesn't support
Corporate news.
I mean, so my question is, if Oregonian, both the Republicans and the Democrats say we're not torturing people and we're not committing crimes against humanity, where do you get your information that is unfortunate?
I will tell you.
That is more reliable than that?
I'll tell you one thing. I don't think it's something that happens overnight. If you want to.
That's kind of reflecting. Let me see if I can.
Sure.
And so they were veterans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Boston?
There's 19 of them. There are 18 of them. Yeah, 18 of them.
Was it at a protest or a parade?
It was a parade. And they were in the parade. They weren't allowed to be in the parade, so they followed up in the rear at the end of the parade. And then they went to a staging area, a gathering place, and they had the American Legion folks who were having their event there, speaking stuff. And these Boston guys all got up in front of the podium, you know, on the ground. They all had their signs that said they had been silenced by the American Legion. And they stood there at parade rest, and they all had gags on their mouth, and they were all arrested for doing that. They were charged with chanting loudly, which is kind of absurd because they all had gags in their mouth. And later on, all the charges were dropped. So they're all square right now.
That happens a lot, huh? Arrest you on the front end and drop it off on the back end.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. They
That's
just get you out of the way.
Veterans for Peace too, huh?
Yes, they are.
You guys
Smedley Butler chapter.
Oh, okay.
Boston.
Okay.
Yeah, they're great guys.
Gordon, if you see Blumenauer, I have this package for him.
Okay.
I'm going to go hold the bag.
Oh, okay. All right.
indicted for war crimes. After they're tried for treason in this country, they then need to be extradited to The Hague to stand trial for crimes against humanity and war crimes. I mean,
in prison.
You know, otherwise we have nothing.
The law doesn't mean anything.
We have nothing, and we have no right to respect or trust from the rest of the world.
Yeah.
You know.
You're right.
You know, we don't even have an election system. You know, did you read the stuff about Hillary's victory in New Hampshire?
New Hampshire? I've just been told by a few people about it.
It was all done on Diebold machines, and it was another last-minute switch. And that according to at least the pre-election surveys, that were completely accurate about everything else. That Obama won by, I don't know, 3% or 6% or something, according to the
oh, really?
According to the pre-election surveys, pre-election polls, which were completely accurate about everything else, right down to the 17% for Edwards.
Paper ballots and hand counting.
Yeah, and when they compared the paper ballots with the Diebold machines, this is what it showed: that Obama won.
I think Brad's blog got some on there. Somebody told me to go there and.
So Hillary's apparently in on the deal now too. Because the powers that be decide who's going to run this. And they've probably decided they want to make it look close between Obama and Hillary, who are both basically corporate people.
Yeah, unfortunately for
and Edwards,
us.
and Edwards, who is the David against Goliath, isn't getting any corporate money, of course.
Yeah.
And has much less money.
Yeah, and then Kerry comes out and doesn't support his running mate from 4 years ago.
I know, that's kind of...
Well, Kucinich, I'm a Kucinich supporter. Kucinich supporter.
Hey guys. Hey.
Can we move this down?
Sure.
Off of the 18 area.
Okay. We dropped something there, I think.
There you go. I'll hold this. Thank you. How about right here between them?
If you would mind down on the other side.
I want people to be able to see the sun. That's the most important thing we have in this country.
It's a good idea. I'm going to talk to the community about what's happening. And the amazing stuff about that, I think that helped. He was saying they have their own people.
I would be.
Looks good on you, Joe.
If he has tried to distance himself, it wasn't just a job that blew him out there. Anyhow.
Okay. I gave my sign.
Trying to get it out there.
I haven't.
Hi, everybody.
Bye.
Hey, goodbye. We'll see you when it's meant to be.
Yeah.
And I will be in touch on seeing if I can get to that. Also known as Castle Logo, which is
Well, the ones you never had a chance to get.
I don't know.
Go slide up next to somebody you know real well.
Thanks for being here.
See you guys. See you next time.
Okay.
We're done.
We'll wait till this wave comes back. And the government isn't even taking care of the people. They're just ignoring them like they don't exist. Quick trip.
There goes the security guard.
How you doing?
He's jogging. There they are. Kind of hanging in the lobby there.
Well, there was no Q&A, so she didn't have to ask the question. And apparently they got upset about the press asking a question.
Is that what it was? I don't know what it was.
So Blumenauer, rebooting democracy, let's get democracy going, won't answer the press's question. She's a legitimate press person.
Was it funny?
Yes.
Aye. All right.
Well,
everybody is telling me that they're not going to arrest them.
No, yeah, the nice security guard just said that. First he said that the police were coming and someone was going to be arrested. Then he said, no, they're not going to arrest you.
So they have
After I finally got a hold
police
of
cars
an
and 4 policemen here.
Yeah, 3 police cars.
3 policemen, because a woman or a man dared to ask a question in a democratic process.
Yeah, about impeachment.
About impeachment.
And I said, well, what about free speech? He said, well, you know, she was very assertive about it.
Oh my!
That's why I didn't go in.
Oh my!
Yeah, you'd have really been assertive, kid.
What was the big deal? I don't know.
I don't know.
We don't know. You guys go light yourselves on fire or something like an old mud? Don't give us any ideas.
And there was no question answered. And Blumenauer got upset apparently. Got the press asking the question.
What did they ask him?
His name, I think. I don't know what they asked. I don't know.
Something about impeachment.
Yeah, something about
Bonnie,
she had a shirt on, and she's also the press for the Alliance. And so she was in as press, and I guess they didn't think the press should ask a question about it. But, you know, how are they supposed to talk about his view on impeachment if they don't ask him?
They called the police.
To take care of Bonnie or what?
Bonnie's still in there.
You guys were there from the beginning. No, we left.
Oh, you got called back?
Yeah, but then we just got called back.
Maybe you should find out what it is and come and tell us.
Well, I'm guessing it was the question.
Questions of mass destruction. It is a big.
What was that? What happened?
We asked a question. Bonnie went in and asked a question.
You asked a question?
Yep. And all
my God, what a terrible thing to do.
Not just any question. A question of mass destruction.
Oh my God.
Well,
What was it?
and you're the press, and you have this on. A message from the press. That must be part of it.
Yeah. And you ask about impeachment. That's it. 3 cop
They
cars
called
and
the
6
cops because somebody asked a question.
Yeah, I guess.
A member of the press.
A member of the press.
There was comment that they were going to arrest her at first, but it's dwindling down.
The nice security guard told me the police, they had to call the police.
Yeah.
They intended to arrest her.
Yeah.
And somebody had a brain in their head and said, I don't think this is a good idea. And it could have been the city attorney.
Questioner.
Because he seems to be the only one, and the police officers too. They're pretty cool.
They are, and he was
But
very
this
nice.
organization is not so good, and they're not progressive. They are regressive. They are repressive. They are not Democrats.
Around town because
I admire what you guys are doing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's great, you know. I was just driving in.
Here's Bonnie, people.
Thank you.
Here's Bonnie.
Describe in a brief way what kind of statement you made and what prompted them to call 3 cop cars.
Apparently you asked a question.
There were 3 cop cars that came.
I had just asked a question. They set this thing up so that there was no question and answer. And when I had talked to Jeff Smith ahead of time, telling him I thought we should be in there selling our shirts.
Yeah.
Or at least to make them available to people so they could participate in the protest.
Yeah.
Because what they're doing is making a hero out of Blumenauer by letting him speak. And he told me they weren't going to make a hero out of him. He was just here to welcome people. So the guy who introduced him made him into a total hero, with all the wonderful things he's done, how progressive he is, how he comes from the 70s and he's this great radical, right? And Blumenauer then kept carrying on about all the wonderful things he's doing and how important it is to be out engaged in the democratic process, protesting, and how good it was to do all of that.
Great.
And so I'm not sure what I said, frankly, but I finally just couldn't take it anymore. And I said, Earl, this is no longer the 70s. the radical thing to do today is to support impeachment. So when are you going to get on board and become a real progressive today and support impeachment?
Good job, Bonnie.
And they called the cops for that.
They came and told me to shut up. And because they had told me ahead of time there's no time. They set it up so there's no time for questions.
Yeah.
Right?
How convenient.
So then he said something else. And, you know, I said again something like, Earl, you know, the thing we need from our representatives is for you to get there and support.
I mean, he knows what you said.
Did you hear me? Do you know what I said? They want to know what I said.
I think I heard it. I think you said, when will you, three things. First you said, when will you, you started out with your shortest thing, like when will you support impeachment? And then you said, when will you show, this was your best line. You said, when will you show progressive courage in this century? And I had to give you credit for that one. And then the only one I didn't like when you said this conference shut us out. And that was the other thing you said. That was the only, otherwise I thought.
That's because some people are just trying to come here.
I didn't say that, I just, that was the only thing.
Did you know that 3 cop cars showed up immediately after that?
There are, I think, members of the, our landlords who have a little less comfort with democracy and free speech.
I think they must.
Some of us. I am not quite scared. I think we're nice people with good. I think we're jackbooted thugs.
Yeah, I know.
So you're saying the building people called them police and you didn't?
The security man came up next to me and said, if you say one more word, I'll have you arrested.
Really?
And then they just pushed me. I just had to say
they're over
woman that was at the bank out here came to get a bank loan, and that guy ordered her off the lot, and she said, what was that all about?
There are 300 people in there. I don't know, but my strong impression is it was the
building security.
I got strong.
Well, but you're in charge of this, right?
You can blame me, but
you're
getting more credit.
Will.
Right. But I relative confidence. But what I do know is that Caitlin and I will have asked. Caitlin asked that nobody get arrested. So I think so. Anyway.
Why was there no question and answer period?
Say again.
Why was there no question and answer period with your?
Good question. Maybe there should have been. Might have been a better way to go. And I've been. And I don't want to blame it on others, but I've been planning it. Maybe I would have had one. Generally speaking, when we do the big room things, we do them just get people in, get people out, because it's a big group, and we try to keep the big group as short as possible. We try to have more discussion.
If you have 50 or 60 people out here, complaining that Blumenauer is going to give this speech, wouldn't it make sense to somebody that maybe somebody would at least ask a question?
Sweet, you want me to call you a fourth?
Will you tell them, Jeff, what you have said to me about trying to provide some balance in the conference?
Yeah, there's a few things that we will do, and we have done. So we have John Frohnmeyer's on Sunday, and he's a vocal impeachment supporter. And that was a controversial invitation, right? There are people that we have close relationships with who fear his candidacy as a Gordon Smith re-election assurer, but thought it was important in part because he is one of not very many people offering a contra view on the issue you guys care so much about. Is he going to talk about he is. Good question. He's here to moderate.
So is Steve Murphy.
Yeah. He's also.
The only one that's not doing is the DLC Murphy. He's the only one that's not doing it.
So let him tell you the other things he's proposing.
So anyway, it's not, and we're not having, except for Earl's answer to that, we're certainly not having anybody speak, to be very clear. We're not having anybody speak. Same stuff he's been saying.
Same old line.
I'm focused on this issue, which I can't do. I can't make it back on it.
It's a waste.
Yeah, they're getting a lot through the Senate.
The circus.
But nobody's speaking, except for what Earl did in response. There's nobody speaking opposed to the idea of impeachment, right? We're generally, to be very clear, obviously you know that. But so a couple other things. Invited this kind of people want to sell T-shirts during the tabling, right? So if you guys want to do it, you'll get a cheaper rate than other people run it. Another thing we invited is if there's a couple people, we don't have this on the schedule, we'll add it to the schedule if you guys want to do it. One of our open things we're doing is a leadership lunch where we're partnering people who are here with community leaders. If you guys had a couple people who wanted to be the community leaders, to educate people about your issue. That'd be another thing. That's a third thing we can do.
That's due tomorrow.
And then a fourth thing is I've offered a quick word. I just added it when I was behind my little curtain in there working on what I have to say tonight. I get 10 minutes and I get to decide what I'm saying, and I've added a quick word, a short one acknowledging what you guys are doing. So that's what I know so far.
Okay, who are you going to contact if you're going to set up that panel?
I gave her my cell phone number. If you guys have a...
So you're going to be the point person?
People opt in to their own luncheon. What I'll guarantee is, or at least guarantee to work my ass off on, is making sure that we have a few people who are very active in the organization who participate in it, and hear if there are ways that we can use that conversation to learn more and then educate more people about it.
Okay. I suggest.
And the other thing they've offered is that we could have a table for $50 tomorrow to sell shirts. But again, let me know if there's something.
Worked very hard to organize a thing to make sure a message was delivered. My own feeling is, the combination of, your strong presence here, the fact that any press that was here today, which is what most of any press we're going to get will be here, will be focused on that at least as much as anything else, or probably more. And the announcement that was made inside, free from arrest. My hunch is that your words didn't fall on deaf ears, right? Obviously, people have different views. Some share the view, some disagree with the view. But in terms of feeling whether or not your efforts were heard, I don't think anybody needs to leave feeling like they weren't. That's not my opinion.
Well, we're very patient.
Yes, that actually is the first adjective I would use to describe. The impeachment, they're patient. How would you describe patience primarily?
We're not looking forward to 2008. We're looking forward to 2010. Because we can't do a lot about these Democrats and refuse to fire on impeachment in 2008 because they have a lot of money, they have a lot of people going to support them. But I'm telling you straight out, if Bush and Cheney walk out of that White House to spend their ill-gotten blood money, all hell will break loose in the progressive community. I'll tell you straight out. And those guys will not be back in 2010 because we have 3 years to find people to run against us. 3 years. And we will. We've been there for 6 months every Thursday. And I don't threaten and I don't bluff. We got 3 years to find people to run against them, and we will.
And there have been
maybe you'd like to run.
That's the level of anger in the progressive community.
Yeah, I'm not patient at all. I don't think we have the right to be patient.
I was being
killed every day.
And to be very clear, I don't think patience in this context is necessarily a virtue. No, right? So I'm not encouraging it. I'm merely remarking it.
I was being sarcastic. I have not known for my patience.
I wanted some clarification about
this. Is Caitlin, by the way. Caitlin is a part of
We met. Yeah. We did. You were an hour and a half late, but we met.
Yeah. It's a leadership lunch. It's of the things that I can do without requiring a coup, right? One of them is adding a lunch session, one of the lunch sessions, and so people get to opt in, whatever.
So these would be small
groups, but and knowing that doesn't get to everybody, although this did. One thing I am saying that I'll do is make sure that maybe I'll make Caitlin do it, but I'll make sure that we get some of our most sort of active leaders involved in the organization at that lunch instead of one of the other ones they might already signed up for, so that they can at least hear what's going on and communicate with others.
This would be for an hour.
Ballpark, hour and a half to hour. Yeah, it goes from we meet at noon. The session goes to people walk to lunches. They start at 12:30. We got to be back. Okay. I will. All right, guys.
Thanks.
Hi, guys.
Okay. Well, if you need a couch, I got one.
Well, thanks for stepping it up, Bonnie. You brought it up a notch.
I just couldn't keep my mouth shut. I tried. Because they told me they weren't going to have any comments. And they did let me in as press. That was a good thing to do. And we were trying to be cooperative with them. But I just felt like I had told them my concern was that they were making a hero out of Blumenauer. And they said, well, no, they weren't. He was just welcoming. But then that clearly was what happened. He was lauded in the introduction, and then he went on to all of his great accomplishments and what a wonderful, great young radical he was he didn't say radical in the 70s. And I just...
The agreement they kind of told you, it wasn't turning out to be that way.
But it didn't seem like...
Yeah.
No, it seemed like they clearly did have him there as a role model.
Yeah.
And
well, you straightened up the message a little bit, or at least you got at least you were able to.
You know, I hope
tenacity.
that they will look at in the future that when they've got someone who is controversial this way, because he is in fact putting himself forward as a progressive, but refusing to represent his progressive constituents on this issue, I hope they will at least structure this so that there's some balance in the presentation.
Yeah.
Because it's not a very good model of democracy.
It's kind of like the emperor's naked. You know, I mean, we've exposed kind of that it's not quite what they're projecting it as.
Right, and you know, I think that it's a learning curve for all of us. But I would hope that we need to move. We need to understand that to be truly progressive, you can't always be polite and quiet, and that it's to build your reputation on the 70s. And you know, one thing he did is he talked about the people who gave their money in the 70s to causes and their time, but he didn't talk about the people who were in the streets. And I just want folks who are here to understand that being in the streets is as important as putting your money on the table, or rather the problem is in this country, putting your money on the table has become more important than being in the streets and more important than voting. And that's what I hope we can change.
You're working on it. Good, thank you. Good. Good. Each one must choose,
and I'd rather be dancing at the edge of my grave